Why are you out here?
Why am I out here? Looking for a field of arguments.
How'd you find out about this?
I saw a map.
Whose map is that? Why don't you have the map with you?
I'm deriving for it.
Isn't a derive supposed to happen in the city?
Well, sure, but it can happen in rural areas too.
Thought the avant-garde was tied to political practice. Shouldn't there be some criterion for evaluation? It can't just be anarchy.
Well, Guy Debord says that the goal of capitalist government is to sow confusion within the people. By deriving, you can break that confusion. Toulmin's map isn't political, though. So in following his map, I'm not concerned with its political implications. Come on, this way.
What does Toulmin's map say?
To find the field of arguments, we must first evaluate force and criteria. Although we won't be concerned with the binary relationship of these terms, Toulmin's map is concerned with language, practical application over numbers and mathematics, above all.
So, Toulmin produces something new?
Sure. Well, we could even say he's producing a new space for argumentation.
Like outer space?
No, like social space. He is mapping a space for argument.
I still don't understand how social space could be related to argument.
Well, Toulmin takes other philosophers to task for not being attentive to the practical function of modal terms.
How is that spatial?
Well, Toulmin talks about a labyrinth of possibility. His very language there indicates a kind of geography of the mind, maybe even the psychogeography Debord was interested in.
I thought Debord was experimental, political.
He was.
So Toulmin is neither?
Well, he isn't. Well, not really.
Are you sure Toulmin isn't political?
Well, he does seem to not care for a subjectivist framework.
What is that?
Well, the subjectivist opinion affords the individual degrees of belief, which lead to a high but potentially suspicious amount of probability statements.
Like what?
Toulmin talks about probability statements in relation to, say, what goes on in insurance offices.
Couldn't we say that what goes on in insurance offices is the exploitation of the subject? Wouldn't Toulmin's denial of that be an interest in unveiling the mythological forms of faulty argumentation afforded to capitalist enterprise?
What are you saying?
I'm saying it sounds like Toulmin may have been political after all, and interested in similar questions as the social sciences, like Guy Debord. This map of Toulmin's, what did it look like?
What do you mean?
Did it follow a straight line and explain how to get from point A to B?
No, actually it's not like that at all. There's a series of arrows that follow a 6-point scheme. There are contingencies, and it does not follow the causality we normally associate with linear space.
Why does he prefer this map?
Well, he is suspicious of general propositions which are used to make particular conclusions. He says that the apparently innocent forms used in syllogistic argument will often turn out to have hidden complexities.
Hidden complexity. That sounds a lot like Debord's idea that capitalist societies seek to sow confusion.
What do you mean?
Well, sounds to me that if Toulmin produces new or alternative social space, he is interested in constructing a geography of the mind, and wishes to combat the hidden complexities of previous discursive modes. Then, his map is an exceedingly political one, perhaps even an experimental one, in how he uses visuals in conjunction with language.
You're right. He is political. and experimental. Well, that's it then. I have found the field of argument.
Where?
There.